Hello, beastie. Huh? Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight, I'm taking a look at the Bandai S.H. Figuarts Captain Jack Sparrow. Now, I do have more San Diego stuff to go through, more Marvel Legends, more Star Wars Black Series, but I thought I'd take a little break from Hasbro. It's just been a constant bow, 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 bow of Hasbro over the past week or two, and yeah, I got this in the mail yesterday. I thought, to hell with it. I want to do something different. I want to do some figure arts. I want to do something not Star Wars, not Marvel. Don't get me wrong, I love that shit, but changing it up every now and then, I'm good with that too. Now looking at the package, it's the figure arts box. It's about the same size. Actually, it's a little bit wider than what we're used to. You have the pretty graphic, you have the logo, some words, but then you have this window, and it's about the same size as you. It doesn't let you see the whole thing, but on top of that, they fogged it out with this cloud and then the black pearl right in front of everything. Now, at this point, I kind of figure, why not just make it a box like their exclusives and stuff? Because here, while you can see the head, the extra face, the hat, it's just kind of pointless. You know what I mean? It's a stupid thing to gripe about. I fully admit that. I mean, I know as it's coming out of my mouth, I'm like, what? You're a moron. But it's just pointing it out, you know? When I pulled it out of the shipping box, well, that's weird. On the side, pretty promotional picture, Captain Jack Sparrow, S.H. Figure Arts. On the back, more pretty pictures showing poses, showing accessories, showing the two faces. And then it says simple style and heroic action. Looking at the costume, I don't think of this as simple, but hey, they put it on the box. Wasn't me. Down here you have the warnings, the unreadables, probably says something like, as handsome and dashing as this figure may be, don't trust a word he says. Even though it works out in the end for everybody, you just can't trust him. Really weird warning that all that's down here. On the top, just the logo. On the bottom, another pretty picture. You're winning lottery numbers. So, I'm going to get this open and see exactly what's going on here. Looking at the instructions, it comes with the set contents. It shows that to change out the faces, you pull off the hair, put whichever face you want on, put the hair back on. The tri-corner hat, it shows which direction goes forward. You got the hinges for some hair. I guess it's movable. If it goes off, please reattach it. Well, or that's a separate piece and that one's hinged, whatever. The different hands for the left and right. Over here you have all the left arm stuff for holding the compass, the rum bottle, the sword, and then it points out, you know, where the paint may rub off from forcing it into the hand on the rum bottle, on the sword, on the jacket, on the hang down things. Yeah, a lot of rubbing to occur, and that's what I meant about this costume. Not the most simplistic in the world. It's kind of complicated. And then to put the sword sheath on with the whatever it is, you pull the head off, put it on over it, and then put the head back on. And then again, a bunch of warnings. It says something like, don't rub Jack wrong, he'll never go home. Forget that, cut that out. And there we go, all out of the package, and I'm feeling that excitement that I felt with that Jedi Luke Skywalker. My first figure arts, I thought, holy shit, look at this little man in my hands. And this figure is just so good, so well detailed, so well painted, that it just brings back that oomph that I've been missing with figure arts lately. Now looking at the sculpt, I don't think you could get more detailed than this. Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm sure some kind of future tech will go, look at this. This is way better than figure arts. But right now, looking at all the little details here, the buckles, the sash, the wrinkles, the leather parts, the little stripes in the jacket, oh, it's just amazing to look at. And that's not even mentioning the paint. There's a little kind of checker pattern. It brings out the raised edges on the sash above the belt. The gold on the belt, the red and white, kind of the off-white dirty look to the sash hanging down, the blues, the browns. if there's some screw up in the paint here somewhere, I'm not seeing it. Either that or just the overall piece is blinding me to that. And then we get up to the head. I mean, there is no way I could see myself possibly getting a better Jack Sparrow in this scale. both paint and sculpt wise. It's just Johnny Depp. Now I do admit that Jack Sparrow does have a very unique look. So you throw the headband on, you have the beard hanging down, you have the dreads and the braids and the beads and that dirty look and the eyeliner. Yes, you're going to get damn close to Jack Sparrow, even if it's not Johnny Depp, but look at this. I mean, oh my God, seriously? But that's not saying it's not without its problems. Not so much in the look department, and it's not really Bandai's fault because of the design of the movie. He's just so fascinating to look at. There's stuff happening all over. So that coming into play kind of messes with the articulation or the range of movement there. If you move the head around and then raise up the arm when that hair is right there, it's going to pop the hair piece off. And that's just, I mean, unless you put real hair here or some kind of magic, that's going to happen. There's no way around that. And then with this sash hanging down, it does get in the way of the legs a little bit, but not much. Now, I did have a problem with, well, see, that's my biggie right there, the hair popping off anytime you move it around. So what I've been doing is getting the pose, popping this back down, and then taking a picture or leaving it there, whatever. It kind of acts like it doesn't want to pop down sometimes, but once you get it on there, it looks damn good, like a solid piece all the way around. The elbows, if you bend and turn, you get kind of that Jedi thing going on that we see in the Star Wars line where it locks, but you just bring it back to forward position and you can straighten out the arm again. And really, when I'm messing with it, it feels awkward, but there's some level within me that thinks that it's damn appropriate for this character because the character itself is awkward. So it kind of plays into that. I know I usually gripe about awkward figures that, shit pops off. It won't bend right, it won't come around, it won't stand straight. But with this character, no matter what awkward stance you get it in, it feels natural. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Yes, it's fiddly, but you would expect no less from Captain Jack Sparrow. Now going over the articulation, there's a ball joint, kind of a dumbbell joint going up in the head, down into the neck. That's both at the top of the neck and at the bottom. So you get a pretty good range of movement for a dude with long hair coming around. You can look down, you can look up, and that's because of the back piece right here. The hair, the solid braids, is on a hinge, or well, actually it's a ball joint of some kind. It moves around, it moves out, gets out of the way. There are still braids hanging down, but they're a softer material, so they do move a little bit. I mean, he can't look straight up, but gets damn close. Lots of tilt, which is good, again, for Jack Sparrow. And then, of course, there's swivel. The shoulder doesn't have the cap coming out to hide the articulation, but the jacket does a pretty good job of that. But it's a ball joint going into the torso, coming out to a ball joint in the shoulder. So you can get around, up, down, forward, back, and then some maneuvering gets you out. Then it swivels around. Swivel hinge swivel at the elbow. It comes up past 90. Not a bad range for a dude in a jacket with a big ass cuff right there. And then that swivels. Same setup in the wrist. Now the cuff does come down and kind of block movement there, but you still get the usual Figuarts up and down hinge, or you can maneuver it around to get side to side. And then of course swivel. There's a dumbbell joint in the waist hidden behind this sash. You can get forward, you can get back, you can get some side, you can get some side. It's a little bit, like I said, awkward because it's all hidden behind this big piece right here. The hips are a ball joint on a drop down joint, so it's on a hinge in there, so you can bring this down to get him forward movement most of the way up. Not a lot of back. Hits on his butt, I guess. And then out, and then you can shift that back up in there, and that's a ball joint coming out. So you do get a little bit of swivel there, not a whole lot. The knees are single hinge and comes back a little past 90. Not a great range of movement because of the pant sculpt here. The ankle is a ball, so you get swivel, you get back, you get forward. Not a great range of movement there. You do get rocker because of that. And then a toe joint comes up all the way. For accessories, Jack comes with 5 sets of hands, I believe it is. These are nicely detailed. It has the wrap on the right with kind of a leather look to it, and then he has a ring on his thumb on his left hand. But he comes with 2 fists. He comes with 2 open hands. This is for gesturing. This is for surrendering. This is for holding the compass. He has a set of grip hands, both the left and right, for the sword. He has a set of hands for holding the rum bottle. It's more of a closed grip, and the bottle goes up into it. And then he has a set of crazy Jack gesturing hands. It's just kind of posed in a fingers wherever they may go kind of look. And I haven't had a huge problem switching those out. It pops right off. The ones that weren't on it in the package are a little bit tighter. You gotta kind of maneuver into the cuff, but once it's on, it's on. It looks good. Jack comes with 2 compasses, one closed, one open. It has the sculpted detail there, but it's so small they couldn't get in there and get a lot of super detail in there. But I do kind of like the hanging off sash or rope for the compass because it gives you a handle to place it in his hand. It works out really well. And that way you're not struggling to get it in there. It's not popping out because it sticks to you, whatever. The figure also comes with a rum bottle. It looks really like fogged glass with a bronzy copperish color to it. It looks like a rum bottle is what it comes down to. And he has dedicated left and right hands for that. You take the neck of the rum bottle, you push it up through there, and he's essentially holding it. It looks fantastic when he's holding it. But I don't think it really goes... Oh, wait, it does. Why didn't I realize that before, that you can actually have him drinking out of the rum bottle? That's pretty cool. Getting it out isn't as easy. Well, that one, the right hand seems to want to grip onto it. The right hand isn't actually open. The left hand, the thumb and index is separated. On the right, not so much. So it's a tight grip on there. He comes with a sash with a sword in the scabbard on it. Good leather detailing here. He has more of that kind of sash hanging off of it, and then the silver buckle for it. Just awesome little detail, both sculpt and then the paint on top of it is nice and clean. And to put that on, you pop his head off completely, put his arm out, come around with this, put it on there, then you just pop the head back on. And again, it looks good. It doesn't stick out against the whole figure. It kind of gets in the way of the arm and the head, but it looks like it's part of the figure. The sash carries on down through here. It kind of hangs down in front of it. And you can pull the hilt out if you're wanting this to be on, but have his cutlass out. Swashbuckling, whatever. Now, when I first got mine out, you can see this little white dot right here. There was some flash sticking up off the end of it, and it just fell off as I was messing around with it, but it did leave that white dot right there. He comes with his cutlass or sword. I guess it's a cutlass. That's what I'm going to call it. Nice sculpt to it. It's got the hilt. It has the guard. It has the blade. It's not super detailed. In fact, actually, now that I'm looking at it, it looks a little bit flat in the handle region, but that's the part he holds. And with all the other detail on the figure itself, I'm not complaining about this too much. And that goes into the grip hand, both left and right. The cuff does kind of get in the way of extreme posing. He can't get straight out, but it's pretty close. He comes with his captain's hat. Just looking at it off, it looks kind of like a trash bag laying on the ground. But you get up on it, it has kind of a wash to it to kind of leather it up, dirty it up just a little bit. Putting it on his head, the instructions show that the most pinched section goes up front, the open ones go towards the back, but once you try to put it on him, you know exactly which way it goes because it falls onto the head. Now, it doesn't lock onto the head, which kind of sucks. I don't really... Oh, well, of course you're going to do it now in front of the camera. But most of the time, when I was posing it, it just kind of sat up there, and it looks like it's sitting maybe too high up. In the movie, it did kind of look like that sometimes. And then finally, he comes with an alternate face, and it's not super different. It's almost like they just painted the eyes looking to the left, but it works for the character. And surprisingly, given my record with figure arts lately, the second head is painted just as nice as the first. I like both of them. The eyes to the left gives a little bit more character. I kind of wish this head was a little bit crazier looking, but looking to the left works for me. And to change it out, you pop the hair off the top. Now, sometimes, I talked about, sometimes it doesn't lock down all the way, and when it does, it's a little bit hard to just pull up and off. But if you push here, like I showed pushing it with the arm earlier, it wants to come right off. So that's the easiest way to get that off. And then here, you pull kind of on the chin, and the face comes off pretty easy. Now, the second head on mine is tight as hell. It's kind of hard to get on there. I feel like I'm going to break a peg or something, but I just keep pushing until there's no gap right there, and then this locks down on top of it. And like I said, it gives it a little bit of personality. It looks to the side. It does make him seem a little bit wackier, but I would have liked to see a little grin or a smirk or something, just to change it up just a little bit more. But it does look great. Lifelike. For comparison, here he is with the S.H. Figuarts Captain America. I like this size. I feel like, and not knowing any stats, and I'm sure somebody will come along and say, Johnny Depp is this height, Chris Evans is this height. But this looks natural to me. Depp seems like a smaller guy. Sparrow seems like a smaller guy. Cap is larger than life. He's buffed up. He's muscular. So this completely works for me because it's within that S.H. Figuarts true 6-inch scale. It's a little bit smaller than our usual superheroes, Marvel Legends, that kind of thing. Case in point, here's, just because I had it on the table still, is the Marvel Legends Purple Man. He's supposed to represent a normal human size. You can see that the proportions are bigger than Jack. Back to Figuarts, just for giggles, here's the Padme, just to give you an idea of how the Figuarts all scale together. So at the end of the day, I'm completely happy. Like I said, that excitement, that gusto in S.H. Figuarts is back with this figure. I love, love, love how it looks. But like I said, Captain Jack Sparrow is very distinctive. You could put all these costume elements and the kind of face paint, the dirtying up of the face, everything up around the head on most people, and it would look pretty good. But this is so lifelike. I've had some QC issues with Figuarts the past few releases, or well, a few. Han had a screwball eye. I've had some faces kind of off. Anakin's eyes were a little bit off. But here, I really, really feel they nailed it. When I got S.H. Figuarts Darth Maul, when I got the Jedi Luke Skywalker, I thought, this is a game changer. This is awesome. I could see myself following Figuarts for years, and I have, and there have been some ups, some downs, but this is a callback to those days when I was ready for something new, something to blow my socks off, and this, seriously, blows my socks off. I really believe this is the end-all, be-all Captain Jack Sparrow in 1/12 scale. The only thing that's missing to me is the pistols, and if I remember right, Disney didn't want them producing pistols on an action figure. So I don't know where that comes in, especially this being an overseas market item. Does it really apply there? But I would have liked to seen a pistol at least, just to give him a little bit more. Not saying he didn't come with a lot of accessories and hands and that kind of thing, but I'm always down for more stuff with my action figures. Now, it being S.H. Figuarts, I don't have a lot of faith of them digging too deep into the line. They may give us a villain of some kind. I would love to see Barbossa, but really, if it came down to it, if I had my choice, I would go for Davy Jones, just because that would make an amazing Figuarts figure. I can't even imagine the paint detail and the sculpt on it. It would blow my mind, I'm sure. But in a perfect world, I would also get Will Turner. I'd get Elizabeth Swann. I don't know why I'm talking like this. All the main characters. But if this is all they give me, I guess I'm happy. I'm happy with the figure itself. I love the character. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. Having a Jack Sparrow that I could, I guess, mix in with my MCU or my Suicide Squad or wherever he may end up on the shelf. Bottom line, I'm happy. I'm completely happy with this figure. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.